other side that makes things a little bit more exciting. I do love Zeke's Phoenix. I think it's where you almost see his peak performance, and on a map like this, I think he's going to be one of the danger men. We know who the other one is, so I'm not even going to bother bringing it up, but that double entry duo coming out from Ascend, it's going to be really tough to break down, but I do think that Guild can do it. I think they can. I'm going with Guild still. I'm still part of the Guild gang.
Guild gang. Guild have a chance to bounce back here if they have, and they have to if they want to stay in this best of 3 series. Let's jump into Haven with Pansy and Hypog.
Oh, yeah, let's indeed do it. I mean, we've got a great amount to talk through already, kind of just coming off the back of map 1. But yeah, coming into the second map here at hand, I mean, that composition doesn't, you know, I guess change too many of my opinions about this. They started running that, in like April. Couple of decent opponents, but then we got to see it against, who was it recently? BDS and FPX, I believe. So clearly it's refined now. It's going to look good, I imagine. But what do we make of this? The kind of two sides of the coin then, right, Hypo? Because we then get on one side, well, the team's running their traditional comp, not as adapted to the more recent ways. And then on the other side, of course, I'd say more current meta version.
Yeah, I mean, the big benefit being Leo on the breach, right? That's the perfect counter to what we're expecting to see here from Ascend. Again, looking towards them finding value from that on the defense is that looks as if it's going to be the plan from the get-go here. Look at the setup on A here. It's 4 stacked here, safe elsewhere on C long, Lauren.
Yeah, that is a big boy stack. Okay. Eyes on.
Ascend straight onto B.
They're just going to B. They've just, I guess flanks everything now. C flank's gonna be easier to read. They're gonna hear all of this. They'll be fine. 4 of them peeling back towards window. Killers finds Bonkar. Not gonna be shut down yet. There it is though, with classics. And now suddenly there's problems galore. A 3v2, Draken and Safe the last 2. And split on the way back through. One in the connector from B towards A, and the other on that longer flank, as we noted earlier, from C. So Draken's been given room, but only to have it ripped away by Starkzo. And now Safe gets put in the impossible. You can't do anything about it. Killers has your number, and Ascend just instantly sweep up round 1. And it looked clean for them, even though that could have been chaotic.
It looked absolutely seamless, to be honest. And again, the insurance policy there, with leaving Keyless there to take first contact. Bone Cold somehow managed to get all the way back from second mid, I think, to spawn, to actually greet that push from Guild. It's just so well considered. The way that Ascend are able to respond so quickly to these sorts of plays. I mean, I put out a tweet yesterday talking about anybody still calling Ascend one-dimensional. They're watching it with their eyes closed. Yes, it's great to watch Cena do Cena things. Hold that thought.
Nice combo.
Yeah, Guild actually going to re-aggress here. Cena going to get tagged up very low. Starzo too.
Lovely damage. Really nice combination play here. Just leaning on the utility to try and do some work, and it's done wonderfully. Leo finding 2, cned and Starkzo gone, and that's a big bit of room taken. It's the next step that might be tricky, but Safe more than up for the challenge. That's another added to the belt. Now, yes, there will be a spike plant. I doubt it gets denied. Draken lingering in the depths, though, rears up, does find another, and it's just down a Bone Cold. This has been a beautifully, I guess, presented round by Guild. Very considered, lovely set pieces. And I don't think Bone Cold can do this. He's being toyed with. He's going to isolate 1. Careful now. He knows better than to be drawn into a 1v1 here, Bonko. We don't play these games. Don't give Bone Cold room on this. You can't. And they don't. Well done to Safe, and a gorgeous round from Guild.
Yeah, really, really well played. Again, fighting fire with fire is my expectation here. This is probably one of the maps where I think Guild are not afraid to follow through on the early round aggression. Others, it can be very easily stomped out, I feel, with Guild's composition, but again, it's if you're going to take this fight to Ascend, especially on your defensive heart, it needs to be all in. It can't just be, 2 players looking for A long or A lobby control or anything like that. It needs to be those all in pieces, and it's such a huge risk on your buy rounds to make a play like that. Look at actually Ascend going to come back in with a reasonably comfortable purchase here. A Sheriff, 2 Vandals, and 2 Spectres. So, yes, chipping away at the economy, but they're coming in. I mean, look at what Guild have got coming into this. Actually just lost a rifle.
And that was one of them. Again, Leo's got one of the others. How recoverable would that be? It can be filtered back through maybe Bone Call. How are they finding these little bits and pieces, these picks coming through, and look at them just being worms about this. Leo does punish cned for trying to play towards window, so not going to get away with that. Now Yassine's timing's excellent. Oh, the spray control on the second as well. Transfers nicely on that. Can't get up on the bots, but he has a little peek, sees nothing, so he can call maybe to that Sova like, hey buddy, get ready. There's no one here right now.
Bonka gonna catch wind of this, and actually, yeah, Keeler's a little overzealous there, just comes through, and then Starzo will fall as well. So that's a big round again. 3 survive. Look for the majority rule here. I don't know if Bonka wasn't able to upgrade his weapon, but we'll carry the Spectre through. But like I said, yes, Ascend were able to muster together a reasonably comfortable purchase.
Yep.
That should be them tapped out. Now, the important thing here on these sorts of save rounds, again, always look towards the ultimate cycle where we're sat with Ascend in terms of getting some of those big game changes online. cned nowhere near. Zeke 2 off, Starzo 2 off, Bone Cold 1 away from his, but again, not really a playmaker for them.
No.
They're gonna have to ride out this with pistols.
Scene, not going to be drawn into close fights. Lovely approach there to find Bone Cold. So again, remember, Ascend in this round are working with Sheriffs, Frenzies, and only light armor on cned. So this should be a safe round. See that double stack towards B still in effect. Draken's here on top. And you do have the breach in the back. Oh, cned finds Draken apparently. That's what he does.
Then.
Fair enough. Rifle the Sheriff makes perfect sense when he just bangs out headies like that, but good control from Guild. Okay, so they lose one, but they're keeping they're maintaining composure, and this is lovely. This is clean from Guild. This is what they need to get themselves back in this game. It just has to be that clean approach, no more messing. And there it is. Leo's fine. He stays alive on 17. They did lose Draken, but they should. Can they get the rifle back, or did no one get it in the end? I don't know if it dropped on top of the box, maybe, because I'm pretty sure Draken had the rifle, so...
yeah, I think with what was brought into that, and actually the way the previous round had gone, there shouldn't be a massive issue here. Obviously, Ascent coming back into this with their buy, but effectively Guild an opportunity to ride that freebie. It doesn't look as though that's going to be the case, actually. Bonkar's going to keep the Spectre, and Draken actually going to throw an Operator in the mix here.
Ooh. Pops out the boys. Let's have a little look, see how he's going to be faring with this one. So straight away on the deeper angle behind the boxes. Spray him from your scene, trying to draw the attention towards the ramp side.
Yeah.
Clear through towards sewer. Leo respects this accordingly, but Draken has found Bone Cold. That's lovely. Re-peek from Draken, the man who got kind of put on the bench and then taken off the bench and then brought back to the squad, but he has elevated recently. He looks fired up. Ready. Does get pressured, dips away, but Starkzo's still going to find you. Had to readjust accordingly, but that is now the op now gone. But what have they gained beyond that? All the players still leaning towards this A side. There's 3 on the other side.
Does cned come and try and retrieve it? That's the real question here. Starzo, still trying to regress up, find a little bit breathing room here. Bonkar actually got the recon bolt ready to detect him out. Not going to need it again, giving away enough information. Keeler's now stuck down in the bottom of the sewers, but
there they are.
Sen still not resetting away from this. 40 seconds left on the clock now, and it looks like they're going to try and explore elsewhere as the rotation comes through from Guild. Everybody towards A site now.
Yeah,
Safe.
Seeker's confirming.
Yeah, Safe actually, again, reading the situation now. They're going to be off this by for a couple of seconds. They should be able to get the spike down.
Yeah, Starkzo's flash would have caught anyone facing on CT quickly. Does escape that. The spike obviously slowed down on the plant count. I guess they can go back together. Yeah, they can cross safely. They do have one more flash there as well in case needed. Killers towards long. And here we go. Spike now planted. This retake's got some legs to it. They're quick close by. It's a 2-for-1 trade out. Sen's still going to try and hold the numbers. Good work from the scene. Nice close play from Bonkar as well, and they clear out the site. So they've kind of neutralized all those potential threats, and they kept themselves together. This is great work from Guild.
Nice, again, just throwing the showstopper in there. Considering going back and getting the Operator. It's a long old walk for your scene, but it's like the walk of shame.
What are they?
All the way back across to, don't know actually, I just read it online somewhere.
I only look at Comp Valorant, so I don't really know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about a bit of Twitter.
The cool Reddit.
That's the one. That's me. That's what they say about us. Cool Redditors. 2 words not synonymous together. It's proper good, isn't it? They've been quite nice to us recently, Hypog. Don't anger them. Alright?
I read it.
They won't clip that. They never do.
Now, Now we'll get flamed.
Oh, yeah, potentially. It seems as though there's a bit of a pause coming through here. When Omen's kind of in that animation, I just think of the not like this.
Yeah. I mean, it's perfect actually for the technical pauses.
Oh, that is a good one.
Really hoping the. Oh, okay. Good.
Hold on. Having a shuffle around. It's old age. You got to kind of say everything you're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Talk yourself through it. I mean, it's being a play-by-play commentator as well. You often just monologue to yourself through the day. Talk about what you're doing.
Absolutely. I commentate my entire day. I feel it helps, but I do worry that if my neighbors ever hear me doing this stuff, they are just gonna think I've gone insane because there's no one else in my apartment. So
they only see you coming and going.
Yeah, but I'm having fully fledged conversations. And I shout a lot, so they must be.
My neighbors hate me. I've already kind of been.
Oh, you haven't, have you?
Heavily implied that I should leave.
Oh no,
so that's good, but it's worth it.
Yeah,
it's CNED's fault basically. It's only really on the Ascend series where I get complaints.
Well, just so you guys know, it is a technical timeout, so it does mean I think a player did drop out, has DC'd, so hopefully we get them back quickly. I don't know who it is, can't really tell, but...
Yeah, I was just having a look. I don't think we've got official word in yet, but yeah, just
who knows?
A player has DC'd.
Generic player number 1. But yeah, hopefully they get back in nice and soon. Other than that, I've got a baby Yoda, added it to my couch. Can't see it unless I'm on, like, single shot, but he's on the couch chilling out. Not sponsored. Wait, can you see him now?
I can see him now, yeah.
Wait, he's just chilling. I have 2 on my shelf. One of my friends 3D printed me one of them. I thought it was kind of cool. He had one.
You have good friends. You have really good friends.
Well, he's actually an observer for Counter-Strike. You know, the observers are the best ones, man. You gotta keep them on side. It's one always nice like Sapphire and stuff, because then they give you the good observing. That's how it works, right? Anyway, apparently it was Zeke who's DC'd, so. As I said, hopefully he gets back with us soon. But Hypok, how's your apartment looking? What generic item do you have in the background to pretend you have personality? What have you gone for?
That might not look like it, but that's actually a plant in the background there.
I'm looking real hard.
That blue smudge in the sunlight is,
is
actually...
That's a fake one from IKEA. I've got loads of those.
No, it's real.
It's not real. It's not real.
Production could confirm. Actually, I did water it during the rehearsal today. First time in about 3 weeks. It's received any sort of nutrition.
But the thing is that I have to take them out of the pot, put them in the bath, and they have to like soak out. You know what I mean? You don't want to leave standing water. Apparently, that's really bad.
Is it?
Yeah, apparently. You need to go deal with your plant.
I guess horticulture not really my strongest point.
I actually wanted to be a gardener when I was younger. Who'd have thought it? Yeah, I don't know. You do like job experience.
Can't see it.
As a kid.
Can't see it.
Look, I thought I was being really smart. As a kid, when they do like job experience, all my friends were like, I want to be a teacher. I want to work as a financial advisor. No one said that, but
I want to be a landscaper. Was that what you came
Yeah, I was
out
like,
with?
I'll just go chill in a garden for a bit during the summer, do a little bit of painting and stuff. It was really nice.
Just like the bleak prospects of the south of England growing up. It's just like the
Centre
highest
of
you can set
London,
the exactly the highest you can set the bar. Landscaper, actually, yeah.
It was very nice actually. Went to a gorgeous garden, worked in Kew for a little bit. Really lovely, really, really nice. Everyone else was like, children are horrible and office work sucks. I'm like, should have been a gardener. Way better. What did you do during your work experience? We could talk about the game, but this is more interesting.
I don't actually remember what I did for my work experience. It was
come off it.
So long ago, almost 25 years ago. No, I'm not that old. I think I worked at like some kind of like engineer. I did like CAD and CAM.
Oh, you did
like
a bit CAD work.
Yeah. I remember the DT was my strong point at school.
I see.
Most people won't know what DT is. Do they still do DT? Is it called DT anymore?
I don't think it's called DT. I don't feel as though it is.
I don't know what it would be called now.
No, I mean, it makes sense. No, I do. I used to, also in the similar vein, I used to work for the government in the UK. Nothing interesting, don't worry. It was very boring. I was working in legislation and roadworks. Really not exciting.
God,
but I did get to speak to engineers a lot.
That's got me really riled up, that
yeah,
has. Tell me more about that job.
Yeah, whoa. Tell me about those Section 58s. Oof, I'll tell you. But obviously the engineers used to have the really cool printers that could print out like mad stuff, right? Like the big sheets of paper. And I was playing a game called DayZ at the time. So I printed out this massive like map of it and drew all over it. It was great. I used to have great fun in that job. There's nice perks. And luckily our podcast is over. You're so welcome.
Tune in next week.
Back. Yeah, come back next week. And you can find us on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Play. I don't even know where it is. Anyway, back to game. Enough from us. I'm sorry that you had to listen to us waffle for a bit.
Please.
There we go.
We're back.
There we go.
Look at that. So.
Get out of my way.
Crack on, mate. This is on you.
Yeah, Guild, well, they had a little bit, actually, a 3-round deficit now for Ascend to fight their way back into. Did hear the Blade Storm ring off at the start of the round. That one being available here. Actually, a couple of other things online. Neural Theft, the run it back, you're hearing that get popped as well. So it's looking like an all-in A piece here from Ascend. And Guild are going to back up. They're going to respect this. So lots of territory gained here on the back of Zeke's ultimate.
Bonker. Didn't get much for it. Spike's down. Guild looking for that way back in.
Out of charges. Revealing area. Shot down.
Okay, that's a good first step. And Bonker predicting the second as well. That's really nicely done. Bit of damage on the back lines, but it's basically on... Guess it, cned. Now, I'm not going to get anything for it this time. Draken's keeping him very much busy at this point. Killer's living in that smoke as soon as he steps out. Death awaits. And a good retake from Guild. No threats beyond what they could manage here. Spike to be defused. Now that danger from the ult coming through. And 5-1 scoreline-wise, Guild are playing a phenomenal game here.
Yeah, it is. And actually ticking both boxes for me. We've seen that those kind of very proactive fight for control in the early round sorts of plays, and happy to sit back as well. Again, right there, really, really well handled anti-eco, and that's on the back of Zeke as well, throwing the Spectre in just to try and make use of the run it back.
So back to plants. Now, what sort of plant do you have, Hypo?
Well, actually, it's interesting you say that. I've received a number of whispers, actually, in the last few minutes in regards to my plant care. So I guess horticulture, another of the hobbies from Twitch. Yep. Maybe that was the Redditors coming out. Obviously, you say that word somewhere, somebody's ears are burning and they come running.
Yep.
Sorry, were you asking me to name the plant? Because
well,
I think you already know that I don't. What type is blue?
Yeah.
It's a blue type. It's a blue type with leaves. There are leaves at the bottom, at the bottom of the stem.
Is it like a succulent? Is it like a like cactusy sort of looking dude, or is it more like flowery sort of dude, or a leafy dude?
Flowery. It's a flowery
dude.
blue dude.
Got it. Perfect. Perfect.
Do keep the horticulture related questions coming though, guys. I'll get to them when I can.
Can you post a picture on Twitter though afterwards of your plant?
Oh yeah, of course.
I'll post mine. I've got like 5.
Okay.
Who needs friends when I have so many plants to care for? Fast piece towards A at least for now. Flash down towards short. I think I've actually caught the Cypher then. Just a touch, as I heard the pop on the flash. But as it stands, waiting for the next port of contact.
Yeah, Send here again a lot slower and methodical, and I think that's really on the back of sort of a bubble seen it nearly catching Leo jump peak. But I think this is a byproduct of how we've seen these early rounds come from Guild. Draken goes unnoted here. The fault line actually almost lining a kill up for him. Starzo try and flash him out of cubby here. Draken will slip away unscathed. Actually, we'll get the Seekers online, so an ability here for Ascend to reset, but that's just going to throw him out down C long.
That's huge though. That's going to be just a runway straight forward. They should speed up off the back of this. And now there's the information to come through as well. Confirmation of security.
30 seconds left.
And the site's all theirs. Lovely work from Zeke. Patience paid dividends. And with the 25 seconds left, the spike will be planted. But then there could be a denial. Let's see. Ball's not exactly leaving a great impression at this point. But the spike hasn't quite gone down yet. Now it can, but they have closed the gap. But again, this retake, you've got, what, a 5v3? No real step into this. Little bits of utility still left around. I mean, I guess maybe if Yassine gets this, it could add a little bit of discourse in this, but it's going to be hard to make that work.
Jeez, Bonkar actually holds down the fort in heaven. Bonkar will fall. Yassine now just going to look to do a little bit of damage, I guess. Look for an exit. Stars are actually down 50 HP here. Bottom of sewers. Yassine, got to be careful. Actually, the flash comes through. He actually crosses over him. Yassine still comes out on top, though, but Bone Cold there to put him down. The Send will survive as 4. The first real comfortable round, it's looked like, Lauren, here on their attack, at least. But again, pretty much tapped out. Again, economy-wise, going to be fairly comfortable, but ultimate-wise, Seekers invested in that one also. I mean, obviously on that previous eco round from them, they did throw out the run it back also. How Yassine still gets this kill is absolutely beyond me. I guess Starzo held onto his blind just a half second too long. Well, again, the beauty of timing in Valorant. That both players at exactly the same time decide to go for it.
It's crazy, isn't it? 2 to 5 guilds still have substantially the upper hand in this. Flash in towards B. So I want to see what they do with this. You can see the early exploratory work coming out from cned, just trying to show presence. That's enough of a sound cue to potentially draw attention, but he has dipped away from this in a quick lane elsewhere. But look at this aggression from Guild. I like this from Yassine. Leo trying to allow to bait him in, just tapping away on long. No problem. Leo's still trying to be there in support if needed. There's the flash from Yassine. He gets not only one, he gets 2.
No way.
The discount on the second is everything you'd want. The flash is perfect, but you can't get away with it. Killers just wasn't blinded as much as I thought, so managing just about to stave off the Wolves at a 4v3, and Ascender struggling for territory here still.
Keeler's down to 32 HP. cned tagged up just a little bit. It'll take a lot for them to fight back in now. Look towards Bone Cold. He's managed to slip through undetected so far. Himself all the way into C. Linkats. He might be able to wrap onto Safe. Safe completely unaware, but elsewhere, Draken actually going to find Keylez. That's the spike down and noted.
30 seconds left.
So he still catches him.
Draken. Okay, it's not over yet. This is a 2v2 now. This should never have been this close. It was under wraps, I thought. This was being cared for and taken care of. Now Bonka trying to give avenue forward. Ooh, Bone Cold. Gonna dip up on top just before that smoke becomes a problem, but now gonna be playing back through mid as well. Tension gonna be split between the two. cned can only watch one of these two angles, but Bone Cold adjusts well in time. And now it's just on Bonka and holding on the backside. These two in combination are deadly.
Way.
They've got the synergy there.
They actually fight back into that. Again, that's on the back of Bone Cold, right? Keylez and cned basically freeze there. They're waiting for something else to happen on the map. Bone Cold coming through, finding the first is massive, but then actually relaying the information of where Draken's positioned and cned pinching from window there. It's so well coordinated from them. This is the sort of thing, right? I was talking about how many times have people called Ascend one-dimensional, right? It's cned go kill, buy him an op, he wins the round. There are so many different layers to what we're seeing from Ascend now. It's really great to see.
Oh,
again, man.
Yassine! Every time I'm like, oh, he'll get a kill. Maybe that was a pretty labored spray, but yeah, fair enough. Just real casual about it, bud. Just gets a cheeky 2-piece and sticks. What? Starkso just found both of them as well. And
well then.
I just don't expect these fights to keep happening, and they do. The double face again on long. Leo knows where they both are. The flank's on the way in, but it's a 2v3, and we've seen crazier things at this point, and that's going to be part of it. Starkso's got another ult now available, spins it out. He knows there's someone on the flank, though. They now know where both of these players are. Safe has to give away a touch of the game.
This is perfect. Perfect response on the back of that Seekers being popped. They opt for the 2v1 on site, or at least force Leo away. Now Safe has to regroup. They have the Rolling Thunder available, and that's a massive ultimate now. With the changes, you see they're going to invest it for the retake here, Lauren.
Okay, so we have... I was going to say Graffiti, but he's pushing up close. He's playing on the edge of it. He gets caught out, completely aware, and now Keylez is blinded, stunned, baffled, noted, position given away. Still gets a headshot. Keylez, the man with the plan, gets both.
It's beautiful. And again, both players there for Guild, ultimates available, the neural theft pings away, they know where the final one is, they still give him an opportunity to fight back in there. Keylez coming up massive for Ascend. That brings it within one round, Lauren.
That goes there.
And this recovery, I mean, it's hard to characterize because some of these have been, 2v3s, 2v4s, these are like, whatever these kind of crazy around. This is insane. Leo didn't even get a touch on him.
forget.
Achilles is 100 HP, 50 armor. He's sitting so pretty. And I thought with the investment, as you said, of both, like, so much utility on him. Hello? Oh, go on. There it is. Nice work from Safe. Bone Cold not having a great round here. Not loving that at all. Safe, though, still want to do more. Good tag. Could do with it. I can't get any more out of that. cned gonna punish, but still, it's a 3v2. Bonka can't quite get himself a rifle just yet, but he can close a space. cned down under pressure. Draken's found him. And now it's the Clutch Master himself again called upon. He can see the spike. He knows he's not in danger yet. Expects the player close by. Gets it. Looks for the second. Can't convert. Draken. Big denial on that one. Controls the nerves and gets the defuse.
And that's a big one to come back into. I think this is a complete switch up here from Ascend being pressured so heavily for A lobby control. And that started from round 1, Lauren. That started on the pistol round. And still, Ascend haven't been afraid to explore it. Yassine's punished them, what, 3-4 rounds now I can think of? Again, 2 back-to-back double kills to open the rounds up. And it's still come down to Ascend fighting back into these rounds, but it'll be interesting to see here, because look at the minimap again. Guild, they do not falter. They are not afraid to fight fire with fire. And ultimately, once you got the round advantage, I'm fine with this.
Yeah, no, I'm actually with you on it. See what they do with this, though. They're going to clear out towards B. Utility now cleared. That's interesting use of it. And it looks like there's B piece again. The ult have already responded, though. You can see them drawing their players back around towards that kind of CB connector. Our drone comes in. Spots out Stark, so he falls away.
Well, actually gets himself up into heaven here. Draken already posted. Bone Cold a little complacent there to the possibility at all of somebody being that close to the bottom of the steps. Well, Ascend will pivot towards B site here. cned just going to hop on through. Looking like a little bit of a hit and run, but Showstopper popped here, and look at that. It will deny the plant.
Yeah, Leo going to fight back as well as they try to get aggressive. Starkso's going to need a miracle round here, or Kilo's one of the two. It's a 2v4. You shouldn't lose these unless you make mistakes. Ult is available for Killers, one away for Stark, so spike in enemy territory, deep and guarded. Cam goes in, Cam goes out. You ain't gonna get away with that one, but that could have been a pickup potentially. Spray is there, but Bonka better. And now Stark, so quick little pop flash. Now the he thought about the Seekers, he thought about it. He had a good old think. Now what does he do? Can he get a clean fight? No. Draken keeps it safe, and that pick on Omen, and now the closer. Draken playing very well here.
Last round.
Yeah, he's been on point for Guild this half. I'm interested to see, really, again, I was egging Starzo on, but keeping the Seekers through for the last round, there's a possibility here, depending on what they can pull together, because there's not an awful lot. cned with the Blade Storm, Neural Theft available, Seekers have said to run it back, but the concern being Zeke doesn't have a weapon. 2 Vandals, cned can't even afford anything. Actually, yeah, it does come across, did get a drop there. They are going to invest in Zeke to at least get something done.
I got the spike.
I've got your trail.
It's going to be another quick piece here.
Yeah, Seekers this time going to come around, so saved it before. Going to invest it here. Let's see what they do with this. So it's given them space towards B. Bone Cold wants this. Nah, Leo outdoes him that time, just shoulder checks into the peak. Spike's still ticking away though, so favourable to Ascend in that regard, but now we've got to see what this is going to look like. Looks like Zeke's going to try and take that space already, going to clear on through, look towards window, see if he can get aggressive, maybe push off some of these players. No, Leo still holds firm, but there's Killers coming in finally, finding Leo after taking on so many players here. cned now under pressure, getting a little bit of spam coming in, but gives it right on back. The judge coming on through, but doesn't quite get what he wants, and now into the 3v3.
They're still holding on to mid control here, but the smoke down actually going to cut this off here. They've got to push on, they've got to pressure. He comes through. He actually is going to kill the diffuser, and Ascend will close things out here 7-5. I thought for a second he actually got that all the way through. That was pretty close there, Lauren.
Just a little close. Yeah. Whew. I think even the rest of Ascend were like, hold on, that was a little mad. And honestly, Starkzo's been pretty clutch at these. And again, you can see them spamming away. He's sat it all this time, and it's only going to be Starkzo to be able to deny it in the end.
Wait, is that the timer? Sorry, was that 0.01 away from the defuse? Excuse me?
So good.
Time to perfection, yeah. Love it. I love it when a good plan comes together like that.
Always intended, of course.
Yeah.
Keeping it entertaining for the fans. So decided to not go for the flash on this. Actually happy to sit out and fight here. Good flash this time. Better work from Yassine. Still going to close the gap and right click like a champion. But they're sending the response. They are straight down middle. They want this fight. They are rabid about it. And now already Gil going to try and take the side back. Trying to keep control. Stay measured. Stay composed. But you can see that Ascender just chomping at the bit, and cned bites down towards Leo. Spike is down, and Bonka secures one side, but Killer's on the insta-trade. And it is just Bonka now, desperate to find these fights.
It is crazy to see how quick Ascender, how quick they are to respond to this early round information. That all happened, and it wasn't on the back of Starzo falling, it was on the back of the fault line, Lauren. As soon as that fault line comes through, there are already 2 or 3 contingencies going through for if Starzo loses Garage, right? It starts with the mid push. By the time Guild get to C, Bone Cold's already at the bottom of C long. It's actually crazy to just take a moment and look at the minimap in some of these rounds.
Hey. Let me show you how the boss does it.
3-2 split towards C. 3 through Garage for now. Trying to clear utility en route. Bear in mind that obviously Gil will be playing with bits and bobs here, and it's Starkso again. He could barely see any of them, but they were just within reach, and it's all shut out, shut down, and we move on. Now the game's tied up. This has, been closed real quickly. I thought this was going to be, honestly, after that start, Hypark, I thought this was going to be Guild on a tear, right? Because again, some of the win conditions I think we put to Ascend, it's not only cned, but it helps when he's on. We're seeing what Ascend looked like without just him being on.
One enemy remaining.
It's like the most valuable flash you can possibly get there. But yeah, I mean, it's also the other thing is you always look towards Ascend to have those comfortable round 1 and 2s because we know what the operator means to this team. We know how pivotal it is for them. So, actually with a Marshall and Draken full on swinging through long. Find the headshot, and Keeler's actually going to get flushed out with all this utility. He would have found 2 quick openers on A.
Now they're taking space behind it. Gorgeous catch from Safe there, catching the bounding Bone Cold, and now it's on Starkso. And it was a bit of a bonus. You can still see that Spectre on to play. Of course, keep in mind, this is the first game. There's still a whole other to go. We've got G2 and FPX coming up after this.
We are blessed today. We are truly blessed.
And look, I know it sounds a bit pandery, but I've actually missed casting G2. Like, there's something
I was
about
the biggest closet G2 fanboy last year, so
as an analyst you couldn't have loved them, but
exactly.
Still exciting. There it is, shut out.
It tries to go for a little bit of damage again, understandable. Gonna take away 1 armor at least. Try and force as much of a repurchase here, but I've already seen it on the UI. You can see it just squeezing between the scoreboard there. There's an operator in the distance.
Why are there balloons there?
It's for the 1 year anniversary.
Yeah.
And then there's cake scattered around.
Yeah, I can't.
Not just on Mel's observer feed, but
true.
Caution.
I mean, I just tend to forget that it's around. I think I just tunnel vision. I'm too tilted by the time I look around the map. Oh, Z. You're not gonna. Yeah, you have to force away on that, but it does draw out some utility early on. Guild have to use some of it just to keep the opponents back. Look at Ascend. Everywhere on the map, they're getting pretty aggy apart from C, and then look who's waiting. It's like this funnel in towards it, and seen it again. He's so stylish with the plays.
Oh my God.
Predicting the pressure coming in through Garage, but he still waits patiently at the back towards site. Bites his time, as you've seen, does find Zeke. He's feeling a little surrounded, a bit more pressure now coming in here. You can see the utility starting to pour. Bone Cold being caught on the flank. Yassine is the one to do it. And now cned tries to get involved here. Kiles has his back stock, so right there, but he gets outdone.
Man.
This is dirty work, and actually, this is now being a... cned! He over pushes to catch Leo. He switches away from the op, gets the rifle, goes gunning, and now it's on Bonkar, a 1v2. And he's got space. Can get the plant here.
Ascend is just so unorthodox in terms of just like, you know, just playing offbeat, right? In terms of how you would expect a round to progress. That regress through garage was beautiful here. Keyless and cned gonna stack up. Bonkar actually will slip through towards heaven. Now, real test to the diligence of Ascend here on this retake. Man advantage. Got the spy cam, 3 smokes on the side of cned, so still a possibility to get this. And it's a tricky plant, actually. They can potentially defuse this out of line of sight of Bonkar.
This could be huge for Bonkar, and he needs it as well. Does he wait patiently? How does he play this? That's going to be halfway. They're going to hear the crunch, the knees, giving away the game. Age is not on his side, but cned puts him out of his misery. My, what a round indeed.
NT in the chat.
NT.
Bonkar.
Oh.
Unfortunately doesn't fight. I mean, potentially if he finds Keyless through the smoke there, but again, he's got to take a risk there. He has to do something in that post plant.
Yeah.
Again, I'm all for playing that a little more aggressively to try and, you know, find an advantageous kind of unexpected peak. Even the odds up a little bit, but with Ascend stacked up like that, there's not an awful lot you can do.
Yeah, 3 players this time towards A as well. Phoenix leaning over a little late. They've got the double stack towards sewer. And Jett on towards it. Tina gonna take the space, call it somewhat clear, doesn't see anything initially, so they can start kind of maybe alleviating some of the players from position, right? Send the Omen back towards B. Maybe just leave A as is. Maybe they've got enough of the understanding of the tells that Guild may give away if they are going for those pieces. Flash out towards Garage through the smoke, gets the info. Hey, someone's around. And they start moving around. You can see again, cned just leaning on over towards Garage. He's happy to patrol, isn't he?
Indeed, and Guild maybe not finding what they were expecting elsewhere, and it will be 5-man creep back into A lobby. With the 45 seconds left on the clock here, fault line sent through, and I think that's going to be some information over to Ascendi, because see already they've got 2 bodies here. cned and A-Link, and actually it might be a brawl out in sewers here.
They're pushing back down towards sewers. That is something you do not expect. The re-aggress on sewers, and they just swing out
30 seconds
lackadaisically towards long, and you're going to get punished on this. Do not enter this man's lair. Do not go near him. Avoid him at all costs.
I'll talk about it after the round, but 17 seconds left here. Guild now scrambling for a response. Spike on the back of Bonkar. Draken left waiting in sewers. Keyless here to greet him in mid. We'll dig him out. Draken will get a consolation, but I just want to talk about this. Draken will actually string together, do a lot of damage here, yeah, but the round will conclude nonetheless. cned, I was talking about, I was criticizing Guild in the first, right? Not playing flashes, right? It's the small things about cned. We talk about him landing shots, right? But finding that first, he throws a smoke down on himself so that he cannot be flashed, so that he can re-peek onto long. It's the small things like that. I'm so glad we're showing this replay. Look at this. Flash on himself. Flash comes through. He gets a clean peek onto Leo. That is absolute perfection. That is how you play Jett. I know we scream and shout about the shots, but it's the utility usage that really sets Jett players apart in my eyes.
He's so self-sufficient in that regard, and as we say, it's easy to say, well, just flash him. Doing it in reality is a lot harder than you imagine. So at this point, though, everyone's blind. It is just everyone just pulls off the mask and like, oh, there's 2 of you on long. Fantastic. Right, okay. Good round so far from Guild, at least in the way of damage. It is a 3v3 on a lighter buy, but cned, he is up, he is down, he's dashing everywhere he can go, but he sets up at least the others for the play, and they trade in effectively. We're at double digits for Ascend.
Guild looks so comfortable as well coming into this, the start of their defensive half, and unfortunately here, I was talking about fighting fire with fire. Ascend come back and just like, hey, you want to play aggressively on your defense? Take notes. Take notes on how you control Haven.
Yeah. Ooh, I need to not burn out my voice. I just realized we got, you know, some spicy players coming up, dude.
It's just past 6 p.m. and I'm like, oh, hang on a sec.
Halfway through my can of caffeinated beverage. Undescript, of course, for the sponsors out there. But no,
the DMs are open.
Always. Obviously, next to the household cleaning products that I'm a big fan of. At this point, though, we have to look at the economy and kind of where it sits for both sides. bit of a weird spot. I mean, it's not perfect for Ascend. These rounds have been costly. You saw what Draken did to them. These are no pushovers, right? As much as the last couple of rounds, 3 on the trot now for Ascend, they've still been a pretty costly expense. They've been still trying to get that pressure going, but now Guild has to make that choice. Well, they're on 10 rounds. Do we let them get to 11? What do we do with the money we have here? Because obviously we want full, as much of a purchase we can in the big boy round, but it does mean as though we're going to let it get to such a pressure point now.
This goes here.
Well, this is, we talk about pivotal rounds in Valorant.
That goes there.
Look at the round score and look at the purchase from Guild.
Yep.
This is not a nice position to be in. Send just so much going in their favor right now. You see him going to try and bait out a little presence here, deal with the Cypher utility in Garage. Zeke here to greet him though, and actually you've seen who'll get the better of him. Look at that.
That's going to be a little bit of a wake-up call. What do they do with this, though? It's always going to be that hard part of when you have to take the site, right? Those unfavorable angles come out, but staying as a pack, and it's going to be Bone Cold, who's just tucked in on short.
Hello, Bonka.
Hello. Now, they're getting the read right in this. Bone Cold might have just called, maybe a step, maybe just feeling pressure. Now he knows, okay, they're coming down this way. cned, does he get away with it again? This time around, he does see so many. Target-rich environment. The flash does catch him this time, though. Blinded up in his own smoke. Dips back out, sees another. It's Killers by his side to find them. They can't quite overwhelm. They can't quite swarm the site like they'd like. And now look at the space that you've seen. Has managed to find. This is going to punish rotation. He has to get ahead of the flash. And all the bullets get soaked into the bird. And Starkso still gets to live. So the space they'd opened suddenly gets shut.
Bone Cold here. His way all the way back into the sport here. Draken landed a really nice shot with the Sheriff. cned and Keyless breathing down his neck here. Ready to contest it. Oh, actually going to find another one here. The paranoia comes through. He's going to be blinded, but no time left here. cned soon will find that one, and round will run its course nonetheless. Ascend now. 11 rounds on the board. Guild's final full purchase. Got to bring something into this round. I'm intrigued to see the ultimates. If they've got anything else to work with to maybe secure this round and live to fight another
10
day.
seconds left.
Keyless shot was crisp.
Yeah, and credit to Draken, he has been building away in the background, right? He has truly been building. I mean, some of that presence he's shown, I mean, it hasn't been enough to necessarily change some of these rounds, but you can see him being there. cned early aggression, that's going to be quick pressure now. He's got to be careful. Does he get away in time? Yes. You see, he doesn't want to just needlessly close the gap, desperate to try and catch him and drag him down. But he has taken the space off the back of it. Good work for Yassine in that regard. And here comes the old popped, and Starkso just 180s the boy.
Yeah, I just... Look at the control. Again, to negate this purchase here, Keeler's going to find a scummy kill at best. The drive-by through the cage. Leo falls. Bonka, the last man standing. Find one. But look at it. It's absolutely unrelenting from Ascend, Lauren.
Flash, doggo, it's all there.
Match point.
Omen utility thrown in just for good measure. It's smothering, isn't it? And 12-8, the scoreline is as well. They're starting to feel that across-the-board pressure of, well, that was our big buy, right? That was the big one. Didn't quite make much of it. And it's a shame. I mean, this is what we say about Guild, though. They are a deadly team, but I would argue Ascend right now are one of the most promising in Europe. Genuinely.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you can talk about the Masters 2 disappointment, but
Yep.
Zeke has been a fantastic addition to this. It's been so good to watch them the last week. Back on this sort of form.
Spike down A.
Well, doesn't care at all about the owl drone.
Yeah. Not a care in the world, this man.
Just no respect. Wants to find their rhythm, man. He nearly... What?
Almost had him.
He nearly just hit that wallbang.
Almost had him. Bone Cold's found safe. He's still pushing. He's just slowly closing in like the Terminator, just cruising on down. All business in mind. Draken now gets a little bit of slice of what happened at the end of that previous round. It's all there. Utility aplenty. He's still going to put up the good fights. But it's Bone Cold and Ascend at 13-8 to shut out the map and continue their journey forward.
Look at Starzo, man. Look at Starzo. I mean, it's so fantastic to watch these guys right now. Like I said, once they find their rhythm, it just becomes absolutely brutal. Like I said, Guild did everything right for me in the start of that map. And Ascend literally just like, well, you guys think you can play aggressive? Like, we'll show you what aggression really is. And it's so well coordinated. It's so well considered. The contingency behind some of these crazy mid pushes and just sending Bone Cold down A long on defense with not a fear in the world. It is really great to watch.
It truly is. Now, here's the game of the day. We're going to see if we can ever get you to vote against the one and only cned. My prediction is no. However, we're going to give it a good try. We're going to see who you guys think is the player of the match. So you get the options of cned, Starkzo, and Bone Cold. Have a little look through that, see which one you think deserves the votes there, because I feel as though people might have a little bit of an idea as to who to go for. Hypok, who do you think they're going to go for here?
I couldn't possibly call this one. No, especially not within the first 90 seconds of the poll going up on Twitter. No chance.
No, it's a tough one to call. We'll try and catch up with our agents in the field. They'll give us a little update as to how the poll goes. I'm sure it's going to be a real close run, especially after the rounds some of these players had. But got to say it across the board, a great game to walk away from. Any closing thoughts here, Hypok?
No, I mean, as much as this seemed very dominant, I saw a lot of positives out of Guild, which have been my concerns, I guess, watching them along their journey. So we're starting to see a little bit of the development of this roster and maybe becoming a little more versatile. These are real positives. I don't think we've really had the opportunity to give them justice on those fronts. But for me, there's definitely something there from Guild that I'm hoping they can really tighten up, right? Because they came in, they addressed things very well on map 2. I still have big questions about that composition on map 1. But in terms of that switch up of tempo, the playstyle adjustments, and the agent composition showing that they aren't actually afraid to mess with things a little bit, I'm excited to see Guild carry on with this.
Well, with all that said